Welcome back to Growing in the Cove. My name is Stacy and I garden in Zone 5B, Newfoundland. So the garden has kind of gotten away from me. Life has been really busy with my 1-year-old daughter, but I'm here today to show you what's happening. So today we are at my squash patch. It is October the 4th. And we haven't had a freeze here yet, but it's coming any day now. So I figured today is as good a time as any to harvest my squash and see how they did. Admittedly, I really could have given some more TLC to this patch. This is my second year growing squash in it. I really should have fed my soil more. I gave it some kelp at the beginning of the season, and other than that, I fertilized it a little irregularly. So next year I may actually rotate this and grow something else here and grow my squash elsewhere. If not, I will add a ton of compost and or manure to the soil. But that being said, I did have some success. You can see there's 2 pumpkins behind me. So I'm just gonna harvest everything and show you how the patch did. Okay, so here is my first pumpkin. Usually you know that your pumpkin is ready for harvesting when the stalk turns brown. So I'm going to clip. So this variety is called Neon. It doesn't make humongous pumpkins, which honestly was just me not reading the information. And something seems to have tried to take a bite out of my pumpkin, but this is my first time trying pumpkins and I'm really happy about this. So this is super cute. Like I said, the variety is Neon. I got it from Vessie's. And I am going to cure this, and then it's probably going to go out on my front step. All right, so let's get the other one. This one is a bit bigger. Oh, wow. Ooh. Looks good. All right, so here's my second pumpkin. I think it looks really good. It's decently heavy. I'm really happy with this. Okay, so here is my little haul of squash. I do have 2 butternuts that are not ripe yet. And the bushes, the vines still look okay, so I'm actually going to leave them. But I just want to show you some of these gorgeous squash. This is called Celebration Squash. It's a winter squash for eating. And look how gorgeous it is. Look at the coloring. So this is my best one. It's beautiful. It's really heavy actually. And I got a few smaller ones as well. So these look great. It's my first time trying this variety. And like I said, for very neglected plants, I'm pretty happy with that. Here's a little tiny one. I have an acorn squash here. I think this is Table Queen. And this is the only one I got. I find the squash with a longer maturity date. Maybe I didn't get them in the ground fast enough, but they didn't do so great. Also, this was in a more shady position. This is a mystery. I think this is actually a seed. A wrong seed was put in my pack of something. But I think this is what they call a curry squash. So yeah, I didn't plant this. It's not a pumpkin. It's got a pointy end, but I think this is what they call a curry squash. Anyway, happy with that. But yeah, as I said, I've got 2 more butternuts that I'm going to leave for another few days, but otherwise very happy with these squash. Okay, so here is a sampling from the dahlia patch right now. This is probably the last harvest of dahlias I'm gonna get. First of all, I wanna talk about my favorite, and this is called Salmon Runner. Look at that color, it is incredible. It's kind of like a terracotta dusty rose. I just love it, and I love the form. I think it's a water lily. And then, how can I not talk about this beauty? This is called Ivanetti, and it is this dark purpley cranberry ball. It is perfect for fall colors this time of year, and it almost shimmers in the light. It has like an iridescence to it. All of these are Ivanetti and they're gorgeous, great producer, strong stems. Love it. I grow it every year. This is Wine-Eyed Jill, wine-eyed because it has a purple center. And as the season progresses, the purple becomes less apparent. So as the weather cools, it becomes more yellow overall, but it's stunning. This little tiny pom-pom is called Viking. It's a deep red. I've been growing it for years. It's a repeat every year. And then we have this beautiful kind of yellowy orange called Sylvia. But look at these colors, absolutely incredible. So pretty. It's now the next day and I discovered something has been eating my carrots. I think it's a rat. They have been digging and eating. Of course, my biggest carrots. Look at this, what a shame. So I usually like to leave my carrots until frost, but it looks like if I don't pull these up, there's going to be none left. So I'm going to harvest the remainder. I've already harvested one row of carrots, but the remainder of this bed is coming out. So let's see how I do. Oh my gosh, no. Oh my. This is very sad. I'm a sad, sad, sad gardener today. Look at all of this damage. Eaten just the tops of these perfect carrots. Oh my. Look at that. I don't know if I'm going to have any carrots. Oh, that is so sad. And these are the things that happen in gardening, and sometimes it's hard to predict. So far, I have 2 carrots untouched. Okay, all of this row so far is basically untouched. So at least I have that. Okay, so here's what we've got. Of carrots that weren't touched by the rats. I mean, I guess it's something. So here is the result of harvestable carrots, or edible, I should say, carrots that I got from the garden. I'm pleased with it. Unfortunately, I think my best carrots were eaten by the rats, but I did get some really nice ones. And of course, you will always have people argue that the best carrots are not necessarily the largest carrots, but more so that they are, like they taste better when they're smaller. So that's all a matter of opinion, but there's just something about growing large vegetables that's very rewarding to me. So I grew 2 varieties. I planted them in a YouTube video a couple months ago, Napoli and Bolero. My standout for sure is the Bolero variety, and I already have more seeds for next year. Some of my Napolis had this forking, and people will say that this happens when your soil is compacted. And that may be, but I did fork my soil really well before planting, and I did get a few strange looking carrots, and it was only of that variety. So I won't be growing it again because I'm just so happy. The Boleros are just such beautiful carrots. So this is a decent amount, and I'm going to clean these up and I'm going to store them for winter. Here is the damage of some of the nicest carrots. So this is what I believe to be rat. So you can see that they've just chewed into the tops. Like, look at this, half of the carrot is gone. And these are some of my largest carrots. Like, look at that. But you know, overall, I thought the damage was a lot worse. And maybe next year, I'm gonna put something over it to prevent rodents from getting in. So, you know, every lesson, or every year we learn lessons, sometimes the hard way. I kind of expected this to happen because my neighbor had the same thing happen and all of her carrots were eaten. So I think then the rat decided to come over here and found some more carrots. But all that to say, I still ended up with more that were good to eat than more that weren't. And yeah, I'm still very pleased with this harvest. What a beautiful sight. So here is my final carrot harvest. I did pretty good. I definitely think I had bigger yields last year because I didn't have any loss, but I've got them cleaned up. I'm going to dry them off, and I'm going to be storing some in wood shavings in a cooler in my basement, and I find they last a really long time like that. So all in all, successful carrot year, and hopefully next year we can even improve on this. I've also been collecting some seeds now that everything is kind of going dormant and setting seeds. There's some really easy things to collect in the garden. One of them being calendula. And as you can see, the seeds are very easy to see. I'm going to pull one off. I can do this one-handed. So this is what the seeds look like. They're very kind of spiny, but I've even harvested these green. You could ideally wait till they get a little bit more brown, and I throw them in a paper bag and let them dry out and plant them next year, and you will have more calendula, which is a great companion plant for the vegetable garden. So here's an example. These seeds are brown. So these are actually ideal. As you can see here, this is what they look like when they're dry. So if you go around and collect some of these, I mean, you have enough seeds for next year. And this is something that I've been kind of trying to do and keep some of my own seeds going. Let's show you some more things you can collect. Oh, actually, this dill is a great example. I'm actually waiting on this one to dry out. You can see that first the dill flowers look like this. Then they begin to dry and they form these little tiny seed pods. So when in a few days, when this is a little bit more dry, or like, you know, maybe another week, I'm going to cut off this entire flower head and put it upside down in a paper bag. That's a really good way to collect dill seeds for next year. Here we have some cosmos. These are sulfurous cosmos. They're a little bit different than the pink ones. They come in yellow, red, and orange, but I really enjoyed them this year, and I have been collecting some seeds, and it's really easy to see when cosmos are ready to be collected, because this is what the seed head looks like. So if I grab this, you can see all these little pieces that almost look like sticks. Those are all cosmos seeds ready for next year. So these ones right here by my thumb, that is perfectly dried cosmos seeds. So really you never have to buy any again. So cosmos, super easy. You will see these little kind of starburst seed pods, and that's where your seeds are. If you pick something like this, as you can see, there's actually the seeds are either wet or not quite ready yet. In here, you can see the seeds are still green, so they're not ripe yet. If you go for these every time, you will get perfect cosmos seeds. Another super easy flower to collect seeds from, and I do this all the time, is nasturtium. This is a variety I've been growing for years called Empress of India, and what I actually love the most is not the flowers, but that they have these really deep greeny blue leaves. But if you look here, these little seed pods, these are the seeds. So if you collect these seeds and put them in a paper bag and let them dry out, you will have nasturtiums for a lifetime. So the cool thing about nasturtiums is that you can just keep regrowing your seeds every year and never have to purchase them again. I mean, these things are only going to rot and go to waste anyways in a few weeks, so you may as well take advantage and collect seeds from your garden. And that concludes today's video. It's crazy that this summer is now come to a close, and I'm going to be putting my garden to sleep for winter really soon. But for me, this is a time to look back on what worked and what didn't, and things that I want to do differently next year, because each year presents its own challenges. This summer was really hot and dry here in Newfoundland in a way that I've never seen before, which kind of created some unique challenges. So I'm gonna take everything into consideration and hope that I can do a better job of growing next year, and I'm always trying to improve. Thank you so much for watching, and if you want to help me out, you could hit the like button on this video, or you could hit the subscribe button if you would like to be notified when I make new videos. And that's it for me. Until next time, bye.